What do you know about the Hist? There's a quest where they are quickly mentioned back in Oblivion, their sap apparently inducing battle rages upon people, making them extremely powerful at the cost of heavy hallucinations. We're told they are a very important plants to the Argonian culture, existing almost exclusively in the Black March, rarely seen outside of it. Not many Argonians like to talk about it, but those that do claim they can speak to them. Are these things alive? The Hist are interesting in the sense that they could solve every mystery in the world of Nirn. Legends claim they have been alive since the very essence of the creation of the universes. They have been there for every single recorded event in the history of the world. Hell, even before the creation of the world. Interested? Well, you should be. The Hist are very much sentient as far as conventional life goes. They think, they can speak, they have feelings, they will even go as far as to defend themselves. They communicate with each other through a hive mind complex, every tree being its own, but complying to the letter to the main hive mind. It is formed through a very interesting telepathic link that starts from the roots, a link that other species can actually join if they were to ingest the sap of the histories. In fact, many have actually claimed to have been able to hear the histories talking to each other and to the ingester, of course, when they partake in the substance. The link reaches so far, in fact, that in the Oblivion Crisis, the histories managed to call upon every Argonian in Tamriel to come back to the motherland to fight the Daedra invasion, even Argonians as far out as Hammerfell. An invasion that, by the way, the Hist managed to foresee before it even happened. This implies a connection to the universe that surpasses traditional senses. Should we be scared? I mean, could this connection to the world, this incredibly powerful telepathic link to the realm, could it be used to destroy things? To physically affect reality? Maybe not. But what we do know is that when a history goes rogue, as in when they escape the hive mind link and tries to be on its own, the tree is purged, destroyed by the hive mind. Whatever methods are used, we don't know, but it's a dangerous business. The question though is, why are Argonians so well linked to these trees? I mean, we do know that if anyone else tries to ingest the sap, bizarre negative effects always happen. Be those heavy hallucinations or straight up maladies. These negative effects, though, always have eluded the Argonians. They are completely immune to these things. For a while, it was thought, hey, maybe it's just the Argonians' highly resistance to diseases and poisons, which is the reason they have done so well in the Black March in the first place, a place well known to be riddled with all kinds of diseases. The truth, however, might be a little scary. You see, the Hist actually created the Argonians. Yes, like shoemakers make shoes, the Hist manufactured the Argonians. The reason for this are debated. Could easily be a desire to be God. The same desire that fueled the Aedras and the Daedras to create their own realms and subjects. Could be curiosity. The answer is not really there. We don't really know. My personal inclination, however, I find to be very interesting. What are every creature's most basic instincts? The most basics of cravings and necessities? Well, many of course, but at the very top, it's always to survive. Why do you feed? To survive. Why do you fight back? To survive. Why do you reproduce? To survive. In a realm where hundreds of thousands of different species of creatures roam the land, desecrating and destroying, having an ally that can defend you is crucial. But that's not even the cool part. The cool part is that it is known that the most ancient Argonian tribes were seen planting the histories. Yes, exactly. The histories were being reproduced by the Argonians. Whether or not this was a necessity or just to facilitate the reproduction, it doesn't matter. You can already tell how beneficial it is to have a race at your disposal. It explains things. But how obedient are the Argonians really? I mean, could the Argonians rebel? I don't see why they would. It seems like a very symbiotic relationship to me, but if they wanted to, could they? The extent of the control that the Hist have over them is never truly told. Their veneration of them is very much religious. To abandon the Hist would be as equal to a Nord abandoning Talos or a High Elf abandoning Ariel. I suppose a more true comparison would be a Mythic Dawn agent leaving Molag Bal, or any cultist leaving any whatever Daedric god that they have previously venerated. If the god in this case, the Hist, wanted to lash out and punish the rebel Argonian, it probably could, but then again it may not. Another mystery to add to the list. But if we go as far as the legends go, and do know that we have no actual proof of this, but if we go explicitly to what the legends say and the culture and the religions of the Argonians say, then the Hist could literally kill any and all Argonians if they so wish to. Does that sound crazy? Well, hear this out. The Argonian religion states that when a baby lizard is born, they have to drink from the sap of the history, and by doing that, they acquire a soul, that before they consume this Hist, they are soulless. It even goes as far as to say that when an Argonian dies, their soul goes back to the Hist, so that it can then be reused into another Argonian, pretty much making them, in theory, immortal, in a form of reincarnation. Now, imagine yourself living as a creature whose religion dictates that this history literally gave you your soul, and would take it back after your death. I would find it hard to rebel against such a creature. A lot of questions arise, I know. The biggest one probably, how could such a race of plants have this ability, this power? Well, I mean, we do know of beings who can control souls. In the world of the Elder Scrolls, it is not crazy to have this ability. I mean, we humans and elves have the ability to tap souls into crystals. So in theory, it is totally possible to absorb a soul after an entity dies, and I suppose putting it into something else. The latter, of course, been a little bit more difficult. Daedrus definitely possesses this ability though. You can always sell your soul to a Daedric lord, which allows him to manipulate it in whatever ways he wishes. We also know Shor, better known as Lorcan, has the ability to grab your soul when you die and push you into his realm of Sovngarde if you sell your soul to him in life. This is not impossible, but these are gods, Rex, Daedrus, people in the sky. Plants shouldn't have that power regardless. Well, young Padawan, inscriptions say that the Hist actually come from the realms of Oblivion. Yes, remember when I said that they were there even before the creation of Nirn? That's what I meant. These guys came from Oblivion when Nirn wasn't still fully created, and came into the world alongside the El No-Fae, better known as the direct creations and descendants of the Aedras. Fear them, YouTube, and fear them good, because the Hist believe in Sithis as their one true god. There's some speculation that the sleeping tree in Whiterun Hold might actually be a history. You see, there are two stories as far as the creation of the tree goes, and Ysolda tells them both. She says that one theory is that people believe that when the Red Mountain erupted, a piece of it landed here, and from that the tree sprouted. That wouldn't be crazy to think. I mean, parts of a volcano that was from the get-go created with magic, magically creating a magical tree. I mean, crazier things have happened in this game. Now, the other theory, though, is a lot more interesting because she says that people saw a floating island and from it fell a spore, and from that spore the tree sprout out. Now, this one is actually a lot more believable, believe it or not, because there's a floating island in the Oblivion realms that split from Clavicus Vile's realm of Oblivion, an island that came from that realm, and in that island we know that there's a very lush group of histories that live there. It's a very different strand from the histories that we know here in Tamriel, but they are histories nonetheless. So that's probably where it came from, Oblivion. Very interesting stuff.